there is a very important debate that we must focus on. Rahul Gandhi, viewers, has already accused the Modi government of endangering democracy. He has accused the Prime Minister of being a fascist. The Congress has taken and sown the seeds of its campaign overseas. You've seen the many interactions that Rahul Gandhi has had with students, academics overseas. Many international academics who have met him, and even some foreign legislators now quote Gandhi chapter and verse to run India down under Modi. In the run-up to the 2024 elections, Rahul Gandhi claimed that Modi would rewrite the constitution to terminate reservations for Dalits and OBCs. He succeeded in scaring a large number of those people from those communities into voting for his party. But now the Congress scion has come up with a new theory. In an article he has penned, he claims that the Modi government is an oligarchy, that a close group of unelected people who control everything, particularly business. This monopoly, especially of NDA-favored businessmen, he says, has acquired a chokehold, just like the East India Company did, that is killing entrepreneurship, innovation, depressing job creation and wealth creation. This is what he's saying. He says, and I quote, India was silenced by the East India Company. The company choked India by partnering with, bribing and threatening our more pliant Maharajas and Nawabs. A new breed of monopolists has taken its place. They have amassed colossal wealth, even as India has become far more unequal and unfair for everybody else. Our institutions no longer belong to our people. They do the bidding of monopolists. Describing these oligarchic groups as businesses is misleading. When you compete with them, you're not competing with a company, you're fighting the machinery of the Indian state. Unquote, viewers. That article has about 1,000 words. These are just a few. If you were to read it, you would think that we are not just an oligarchy, viewers. We are worse than Putin's Russia. We are a kleptocracy, where a group of people steal wealth, pocket it and take it abroad. Viewers, that was happening. Yes, it was. Under whose rule? Who said, viewers, that out of 1 rupee, almost 99 paisa doesn't reach the poor? Who said that? It was Rahul Gandhi's father, Rajiv Gandhi. The BJP slammed Rahul Gandhi for his irresponsible and baseless fear-mongering. It has instead asked him to walk the talk by first ending his family's monopoly over the Congress, to let the party grow and turn into an effective opposition, which is in the interest of a healthy democracy. Smriti Irani, BJP leader, says Congress party's scare tactics have been rejected by the voters several times. They have disrespected freedom fighters who fought the East India Company. A party running on a family-driven, private limited model can't give moral lessons on East India Company and its rapaciousness. She's right, viewers. Others have accused him of being a closet Marxist-Leninist, of being anti-capital. Facing flack, Rahul Gandhi has issued a clarification but has also reiterated the charge. Listen in.
I want to make something absolutely clear. I've been projected by my opponents in the BJP to be anti-business. I'm not anti-business in the least. I am anti-monopoly. I am anti-creating oligopolies. I am anti-domination of business by 1 or 2 or 3 or 5 people. I started my career as a management consultant, and I understand the type of things that are required for a business to succeed.
Viewers, the command and control economy was an invention of Rahul Gandhi's grandmother. The license permit Raj that actually stymied entrepreneurial energy was an invention of his grandmother. But beyond that, today, in today's context, is Rahul Gandhi being true to the facts? At least the statistics don't seem to bear this out, viewers. And once again, I bring you the hard facts. No other show brings you the hard facts, viewers. Rise in ease of doing business, viewers. From 2014, India has risen 75 points almost, maybe more. You can see the numbers. The hard facts don't bear out Rahul Gandhi's charge that new players are not getting a look in because the oligarchs supported by the state are finishing off competition and therefore new entrepreneurial activity. Look at the number of startups. Look at point number 2. They are flourishing India. New startups in India have increased from 350 startups in 2014 to 1,17,254 startups today. Just look at the comparison. Almost 1,17,000 startups. He's off the mark on the point of innovation too. The number of patent applications. Every time you come up with new technological breakthroughs, you have to file patents. They are rising dramatically. There were 1,97,370 patents filed between 2008 to 2013. This has increased to 3,14,680 between 2018 to 2023. If you just compare the numbers, you will see how much faster people are applying for new patents. There's innovation happening. Yes, it may not be happening at the level of in America or maybe even other advanced economies, but we're getting there, viewers. We're not regressing. New enterprises are coming up. In fact, double the number of companies have been set up since 2014. Rise in total number of companies at the end of March 2024. The country had a total of over 26 lakh companies. This compared to just around 14 lakh companies in 2014. More money is being raised to expand business activity than ever before. IPO generating more money in India. Between 2007 and 2014, Indian IPOs raised an average of 15,406 crores. Between 2015 and 2022, this amount was an average of rupees 45,000 crores. 3 times. There are, of course, a host of other statistics. Credit offtake has been growing rapidly. But more than this, if oligarchs are truly running India and destroying lives, why is Priyanka Gandhi Vadra and her husband investing in some of the very blue chip companies that Rahul Gandhi singles out for blame? Why are Congress government seeking investments from some of these major companies and thereby incentivizing them, viewers? Why is he incentivizing oligarchs in the states that they run? Karnataka, Telangana, previously Rajasthan, Himachal, why? Let's ask these questions, viewers, tonight. Let's ask them without fear or favor. I want to first begin with Sumansi Raman. Dr. Raman is here with us. Dr. Raman, I mean, come on. This is patently bizarre. I think Rahul Gandhi needs to take out patents for his bizarre theories. They might get copied in America.
Rahul Gandhi spoke about monopolies and why monopolies are bad for any economy. Now, we have to look at
any economy.
Okay. Any economy. Monopolies are not good for any economy.
Right.
And his point was about monopolies being aided by the state. So, this is very clear as to who he is referring to and what is actually going on. So, you can take sector after sector after sector and the number of major today or 10 years ago there were how many 20 15 telecom companies in the mobile telephony space 20 years ago 15 years ago. Today there are 2.5. How many major airlines are there in India? There were 7 or 8 not even 15 years ago. Today there are 2. Every major sector.
2 airlines?
There are 2 major airlines in this country. How many are there? Now you tell me. Am I missing any major airline in this country?
There's just been one launched last year. Unfortunately, the promoter passed away. His name, as you know, is Rakesh Jhunjhunwala.
Yes, sir. If you call them a major airline, if an airline has got 3% or 4% market share and they are a major airline...
That's not the government's problem. That is a problem of the airline not being able to escalate into something bigger. The Kingfisher airline was there. Why did it go bankrupt? Dr. Raman, because of cronyism. Yes or no?
No.
Under whom?
Multiple
reasons.
So, Jet Airways went bankrupt because of cronyism. Kingfisher Airlines went bankrupt
Under whom?
because of cronyism.
Under whom?
Forget. No. One
Under
minute.
whom?
Now tell me that. No. 1 second. Tell me the telecom business now. Tell me the cement. Today, 18% or 15% or close to India's cement is being controlled by one group.
Right.
And it's set to rise.
Okay.
Right. What are we talking
First of all, viewers,
has
can you tell me, Dr. Raman, if any of the statistics that I have pointed out tonight are wrong? Factually wrong. Any of the statistics?
Startups have absolutely.
I'm not talking about startups, sir. I'm not just talking about startups. I'm talking about patent applications, the total rise in the number of companies, IPOs generating more money in India. Why is this money being raised?
Look, excuse me, Rahul. If you are referring to the share market, what proportion
I'm not
of
talking
India
about the share
invests in
market. I'm talking about legitimate
Who is the
business
IPO relevant?
activity to raise money from the markets.
From the markets.
For what? For
proportion
whom?
of India invests in the market? You're again
boy.
proving Rahul Gandhi's point.
Okay.
May I
The
come in
poor
here?
don't invest yet in India's markets. The vast
Sir,
majority
are
of
people
India
not taking
does not
bank
invest in the
loans?
market.
No, hang on. Are people or entrepreneurs not taking bank loans?
Why are you?
Okay, let me bring in an economist here. Dr. Raman, look, I will move from now somebody who is not being able to substantiate Rahul Gandhi's argument
clearly
beyond saying he's talking
substantiated.
generally.
I've given
No,
you
viewers,
four
he's not
examples.
talking generally.
I
Rahul
have
Gandhi
given
said the
you
following,
5
and let me
examples.
point this out to you. He says, you're not competing with a company, you're fighting the machinery of the Indian state. He's not talking about a global problem. Viewers, this is not Putin's Russia. The same Congress party then, Dr. Raman, why does it ask all these so-called oligarchs to come and invest in its states? This is an answer that no one will give you, not even the Congress party, viewers. PK Basu, where do you come in on this? One second. PK Basu, yes.
Okay, let's just see what the situation was in the car market prior to economic reforms. There were two producers. One was called Padmini, the other was called Ambassador, and they produced very little. Today, let's look at the car market. There are a myriad of producers, domestic and foreign. We have a highly competitive, one of the most competitive car markets in the world. Yes, you will often find that in certain sectors, as pointed out by Mr. Raman, there are, there's been a reduction in competition, not because of the intervention of the state, but because some of the players, if you look at telecoms, many of the players collapsed because they were uncompetitive. They did not succeed in the marketplace. So yes, in certain sectors you have a little bit of reduced competition, but in most of the economy, India is one of the most vibrant, competitive marketplaces in the world. That's one. Second, if you look at startups, the ironic thing is Rahul Gandhi's article mentioned a plethora, about 25 names, just out of the blue. Now, Startup India was one of the major themes of the Prime Minister Modi's government right from the start, right from day one. Startup India has been one of his major themes, and it is one of the great success stories of this government. Prior to this, no government had ever spoken of generating a startup culture in this country. There is now a vibrant startup ecosystem that is thriving. India has well over 30 unicorns that have emerged, and in the course of that, some of those unicorns have gone bust. That too is a healthy capitalist system that is functioning well. You have very few monopolies in this country and very few oligopolies. So, basically, this is a classic Marxist attempt from Rahul Gandhi to run down the Indian state and the success of India's vibrant, market-driven economy.
Sanju Verma, on the points that Dr. Raman raised.
In particular,
would you like to respond to him?
Okay.
Is Mr. Basu willing
Can I
to
just
speak
quickly
about
come in,
why
please?
telecom?
One second, there are certain sectors, Ms. Dr.
No,
Sumansi
ask him.
Raman, there are certain sectors, but don't make that about the entire Indian economy, please. Let's not be, let's not be selective, please. Yes.
Let me come in. Mr. Raman had his turn. He spoke at length. Now, let me be very clear. Taking off from what PK Basu said, we are all aware that there are more than 117,000 startups. There are actually more than 110 unicorns. But that is, not the limited point. The bigger point of the debate is this, that prior to 2014, you did have the DBT, direct benefit transfer. Nothing happened. And in the last 10 years, more than 34.5 lakh crore, which is more than 10% of India's GDP, has been transferred. That amount of money has been transferred directly into the bank accounts of the poor and the vulnerable. More than 54 crore Jan Dhan bank accounts have been opened, out of which 55% beneficiaries are women and 78% beneficiaries are Dalits. Then let us talk about Ayushman Bharat. More than 35 crore Ayushman cards have been issued, of which 72% beneficiaries are Adivasi, Dalit and OBC women. Then let us talk about PM Ujjwala Yojana. More than 10 crore LPG cylinders have been issued as subsidized rates.
He's talking about an
I will
oligopoly.
not come to monopolism. Let me tell you one thing. Let me tell you one thing very clearly. There are two kinds of monopolies: state monopoly and private sector monopoly. Who nationalized Air India in 1953? It was Jawaharlal Nehru. Who nationalized Indian banking sector in 1969? It was Indira Gandhi. Who again nationalized India's coal sector in 1971-72? It was Indira Gandhi. The Indian coal sector went into the red. Indian banking sector went into the red. And we all know that Air India was making 20 crore losses per hour. Now look at the beauty of it. State Bank of India made 1.64 lakh crore profit in the last 4 years alone, more than what it made in the previous 30 years. Every year, State Bank of India makes profits to the tune of 50 to 65,000 crore, whereas in 2014-15, State Bank of India, which accounts for 25% of India's outstanding credit, was loss-making. Today, we have more than 6 crore MSMEs, out of which 87% are profitable. And during 2011, there were more than 5 crore MSMEs, of which 94.6% were loss-making. So if you're talking of, and by the way, Mr. Suman Raman, you made one mistake. The biggest cement company in India is, can I finish, Rahul? This is not fair. He made a mistake.
Dr. Raman.
He made a mistake. That is why, yes, that is why I say it is extremely dumb to have people who know nothing speaking on economics. Suman Raman was obviously alluding to Adani because he said, you know, right, who owns the largest cement company?
That shouting loudly.
Can I finish, Rahul?
Let her finish, sir.
Can I
Dr.
finish?
Raman, let her finish.
Can I finish?
She's answering you.
Dr.
Listen to
Raman,
her.
please.
You can respond to
Please
her.
stop
But if you don't
behaving
want to
like a
listen
goon.
to her, you want to disrupt the debate,
Thank
then
you.
I presume it's because you don't want to be in a
Can I
position
finish?
where you might be exposed. Okay. Listen
Can
to
I
her.
finish? Yeah, the biggest cement company in India does not belong to Ambani or Adani. It belongs to Kumar Mangalam Birla of the Aditya Birla Group.
I said
The biggest cement company does not belong to Ambani or Adani. Do you know that much? You do not even know the basics. Ultratech Cement is India's biggest cement company. It is Asia's biggest cement company. It is the world's third largest cement company. And it
Okay.
is owned by Kumar Mangalam
Let
Birla
Dr. Raman
of the
come in.
Aditya
Let
Birla
Dr.
Group.
Raman come in. Dr. Raman, respond.
Okay, first of all, I find it ridiculous for her to even make a contradictory argument within 30 seconds. First, she says nationalization ruined all the sectors. Then she says State Bank has made record profits. Now, please tell me.
Yes, because the state of government in State Bank of India has come down. The government stake in State Bank of India is today barely 56%.
No, one
State
second,
Bank of
please.
India was completely owned by the government
One
about
second.
30-40 years back. You don't know the basics, Suman Raman.
Dr. Raman, I think you're
Okay.
missing the wood for the trees here. You're making a valiant attempt at defending the indefensible. There is a fact here. Now, viewers, the banking sector, Suman Raman talks about.
Penna Cement,
One second.
Who owns ACC?
One second,
Who
one
owns
second,
Ambuja
one
Cement?
second,
Who owns
Dr.
Penna
Raman.
Cement? Who's
Dr.
now
Raman.
bidding for 2 more cement companies?
Dr. Raman.
Please give me.
Dr.
Why do you get this illiterate guy on your
Okay,
show?
just one second, just one
Why do you
second.
get this
Let me just
illiterate
step in.
Suman Raman on your show?
Viewers, tomorrow
Who
people
controls-
will turn around and say that in America, because there are only 3 big IT companies, really, the massive ones that Dr. Suman, major players as he calls them, that means America must also be an oligarchy. I mean, this is slightly bizarre. Viewers, how many airline plane manufacturers are there in the world? You can count them on the tip of your fingers. Does that mean that the entire world is today given to oligarchism? There are economies of scale. Certain industries, unfortunately, are difficult to. no, hang on, just 1 minute, let me finish, sir, are certainly
No, the
difficult
argument
to break, and you have reduced competition. It is called
Ask
merger.
Suman C. Raman the
Anyhow.
spelling of the word oligarchy.
Okay, forget
Does
that. I
Suman
don't
C.
want
Raman
to
even know
trivialize
how
this
to
debate.
spell
I'll leave it
oligarchy?
at this, viewers, because I think the subject matter has been so sophomorically introduced into the public domain by Rahul Gandhi that, quite frankly, it becomes difficult to elevate the level of the discussion. Even when you give the facts, viewers, it becomes difficult because just one fact kills the entire argument that he is making. I'll leave it at this.